Hi everyone and welcome to the TinkerCAD Challenge, and this is the month of August where we're going to be making a basket with code blocks. So see, here's a little tiny basket I made. It's a really good size for like a pencil holder, pen holder, so you can kind of keep this on your desk, or just hold like small trinkets and things. So this is a tiny one. I'll make them a little bit bigger for you guys, but this is going to be more of that same kind of like trinket holder kind of basket. So I'll follow along this code blocks. This would be a great beginner code blocks to learn if you have not experimented with code blocks that much. This one is a really easy code, or at least a lot of simple steps to it. There's not a lot of repeating codes like I've done in the past, so it's a really good starting code block assignment. So give this a shot, and once you're done, email me. So let me know what color you want to print out as, and I will send the email back whenever they're ready. If you also need some extra help, feel free to contact me to do a one-on-one session, or if you just want to even do this in person as opposed to following along in a virtual tutorial, we can go over this in the studio at New Lenox Library. So let me know, and good luck and have fun tinkering. So I have my page open and we're going to go to create and code blocks. So this is for the basket. And first thing we always want to do is change the title of the file so that I can easily tell what I'm going to print out for you. So I'm putting SS basket. Now this one is a good starting point, so those who are pretty new to code blocks, you could check this one out and see how it works for you. So we're going to begin, just so you're aware of all these different things going on here. Let's start out with going to the bottom, and we're going to create a variable. In the past month, TinkerCAD has changed this around a bit, because it used to be green. So now now it's just click on this, and then you can rename your variables. So I'm going to call one rotation. We're going to make two. Okay, and then I'm going to go down here and create a new object. And let's change this object to basket. That's going to be the name, if I can spell it. And we're going to set rotation to 360. And the reason why we're doing this is just to help understand that you're going to rotate whatever object you create. It's going to go in a complete circle. Next one, we're going to create this and I'm going to call it strands. And then I'm going to take this one, set my variable, put this to strands, and this will be 12. Okay. Now we're going to add the object. So for this example of being a basket, I'm going to use the torus shape. I'm going to plug that in. Open up the menu, and then the radius is going to be 25, so this is how big it's going to be. Sides are going to be 24. The tube, so how thick it is, I'm going to change it to 1.5, and steps is 24. I want to make it nice and round. Now I'm scrolling down and I'm grabbing the rotate. Rotate around the x-axis by 45. So this will make it go completely in place, you can see. So I'm going to rotate the camera. You can see how it's going to look. So this is one strand so far. And then I'm going to move this because if you see, look, like this is the work plane. And it's kind of hovering way down here. So we want to make it set on top of the work plane. So I'm going to grab this move and change it to 20. So I'm changing Z to 20, so it should bump it up. Yep, so now it's on the work plane. That's where I want it to be. So now here we're going to figure out how do we get this shape, and we're going to repeat it. So it's going to go in a complete circle and create like a woven basket look to it. So in many of the code blocks we've done before, we've done the count width. So I'm grabbing the count width. So I grab count width, and now I'm going to go down and grab strands, the variable, and then plug it into here. And now we have to make copies of it, so we have to tell it to make a copy so it knows to make a copy and make a new strand. So plug in the copy, and then I'm going to grab rotate because we want to make sure it keeps going around. And now I'll actually show you what it looks like. So you see it just made a copy, but it doesn't know that it needs to continue to make a copy go around. All the copies are actually right in this ring. So we want to make sure that we add more copies so it can continuously go around. So to do that, we're going to grab the arithmetic tool, or the arithmetic block, plug it into the, where it says rotate around. We're also going to change this to axis Z. And then we're going to go down to the variables, grab rotation, change this to divide by, strands, and I'm going to grab a locator block just so that it knows to keep them all in the same level. Now I'm going to hit play. So there it is. So that is how the basket looks. So it looks pretty good. But obviously there's one problem here, is that if you want a complete basket to put stuff in, you need to have a bottom. So I'm going to do a simple bottom for this one. There's nothing going to be too unique. With a simple bottom, you can put more stuff in it and you have to worry about it sliding through the holes. So the easiest way to do this is just to create a new object. So I'm going to use the cylinder. I'm going to add it and plug it into the bottom underneath the count width. Open up the menu. Now in here, because it does curve in a little bit, I'm going to change the radius to 18, because this was 25, I'm making this 18. The height will be 2. The size will be 24, just to make sure it's a nice smooth edge. Let's see where it goes first. So you could just keep it like this, but I want to have mine be like completely flat, so I'm going to move this up a little bit. So I'm grabbing that move block and moving it up 2 and see if it levels with the plane. There we go. So I'm noticing this whole basket definitely connects with the cylinder. It also looks really smooth. I mean, there is some parts that kind of sticks out a little bit, but overall this looks like it's going to print out very well. So that is how you create a basket. You could try different shapes if you want to see how yours will look. Before I end it here though, I also want to make sure that we create a group so that this will all come out as one piece in the end when I export it, so it knows to print out one piece. So yeah, so this is it. This is how to create a basket. So it's a good beginner one for those who are still learning code blocks. This would be a great one to start out with. I know in the past I have a lot of repetition ones, but this would be a good 10-step code block. And you can use it for pretty much whatever. If you want to use it for school as like a pencil holder. So whenever you're ready to print this out, let me know by email and let me know what color. If it's easier to send in a print request, if you want to download it yourself, you can send in that print request on the newlinuxlibrary.org studio webpage, and I've attached that down there for you too to take a look at it, and you could choose a color through there too. Other than that, as we go along, I just want to make sure everyone knows that TinkerCAD is constantly update, add new things. So if anything changes, like this changed, just be aware of that. It could happen. If my video doesn't match up quite with what you're looking at, then let me know and I could try to help out and troubleshoot what needs to be done. But as you can see, the new create variable works just as well. So it worked out perfectly. I hope you enjoy making a basket with code blocks, and I hope you keep tinkering.